Good morning, church. Today we are talking about the Enneagram Type 5, which honestly is a type that I know the least about out of the 9. So I'm going to rely a lot on Jeni to fill us in today.
So the Type 5 is actually called the investigator. And once we begin to talk a little bit more about it and Pastor Larry introduces some of the characteristics, you'll understand why. We actually don't have too many 5s in our life.
Mm-hmm.
There are only a couple that come to mind, but the ones that we do have are pretty intelligent human beings.
Yes, smart and quiet.
Smart and quiet, absolutely. So in health, these individuals balance really well between participation and observation. They have a good rhythm and balance between what am I going to do today or what am I going to do in this setting? Am I going to observe? Am I going to participate? Or am I going to do both? They have a depth of knowledge. Like we said, the 5s that come to our head tend to be really intelligent people. They're typically the people that win at trivia. They're the people that know all of the useful and useless information at parties. And they share that knowledge with others when they're in health. They live in a world of abundance and beauty, and they recognize those things rather than seeing themselves as separate from other people. So the investigator, the number 5's deadly sin is actually fear, which shows up in a couple different types in the Enneagram. And when our friends that are Type 5 experience fear, it sends them into their stress. And so what stress looks like with the investigator is a scarcity mindset. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with scarcity versus abundance mindset, but it is a wonderful, wonderful illustration of different types of people. Essentially, scarcity mindset is that there's only so much goodness, love, opportunity to go around. That if someone gets a promotion at work, it threatens your ability to. Or if someone buys a new house, that means you can't. Or if someone is loved well, the love will run out. Which is a very sad, lonely place to live. The abundance mindset is that love and goodness and grace and peace and opportunity are never ending, which is really the truth of it, that when we love someone or we're proud of someone for something, it just creates more of it.
Right. It doesn't make us not proud of ourselves as well.
Absolutely. And so when 5s are stuck in that mindset, they're really focused on scarcity, on who's out to get them, or if something good happens, then it can't mean that happens for them.
Right.
And so this can lead them into places of being very defensive. And they almost, I call it like turtling in. They almost turtle in on themselves into their shell and just become very sarcastic, private, closed off. They become separate in gatherings and just generally drained by people. A lot of time Type 5 can also be introverts. And again, introvert is not a bad thing. It just introvert and extrovert has to do with how you gain energy and how you lose energy. And 5s tend to be introverts and they tend to lose energy around people, especially in stress. So the work of the 5 is to practice connecting with their feelings in real time, not making mental notes of, oh, I feel sad in this moment, I'm going to process it privately later, but really experience it in the moment for exactly what it is, whether it's discomfort or frustration or anger, or even happiness. Because if we numb out too many of those things to put on hold and experience later, that includes all the good things too.
Right. And in ministry, 5s are really great at planning and organizing and helping us get things done. They don't always say a lot. And I can think of some board members that are 5s that may be quiet, but when they say something, it's usually pretty impactful. They're very intelligent and they like to help solve problems, but yeah, they tend to be more on the quiet side. And they're good behind the scenes. They're great at helping get things done. They probably don't want to be up front too often.
No, they're not like 3s in that sense.
Right, so they're not like up front in the stage, like in the limelight, but they do help get a lot of things done in ministry.
They do. And so that work in ministry or at work and in the relationships is really about embracing the mindset of abundance, that those lies in our head that tell us there's not enough to go around are exactly that. They're lies, they're not truth. And so to not turtle in and to not disconnect themselves from all of the beauty that's around them and to even venture out of their comfort zone, there's a big disconnect between their body and their head. So merging and joining those together and recognizing what life can be when you're able to merge those in all of its discomfort and all of its beauty. So again, if you're lucky enough to have a 5 in your life, you'll know it after we talk about it. They're the smart theologians and authors and philosophers of the group that don't say much, but as soon as they do, you know to listen.
Right.